Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. I am happy that you would choose to join me in today's video. This is my Flosstube update for January and February, my stitching progress, and I have also spent some time just thinking about what to do this year, a bit more in detail about the spring and the summer. I have some new starts also that I'm planning to show you a little bit. Sorry about that sniffles. As you can see, I'm going to start with The Little Match Girl by Jasmine Beckett Griffith from Heaven and Earth Design. This is a project that I really love. I love the details, and again, it's my three of my favorites. It's a 25 count, it's a 1/1 and full coverage, and well, Jasmine Beckett Griffith is one of my favorite artists, so yeah, I'm super happy about the progress. So I am working my way down here on the diagonal, and when it comes to diagonals, I am really liking it. And I think I mentioned it in my last Flosstube video that I prefer the 20 by 20 instead of just doing light by 10. I prefer the 20 stitch wide diagonal. It's working out really great for me. I am sort of contemplating maybe to just continue not cutting off the diagonal, which I was planning to, just because it fits the Q-snap, so this is nice. But then this is not such a big project, so I might just continue the diagonals as long as they go, and yeah, and in the end they're gonna get shorter and shorter, so yeah, I might just do that. I have spent about 11 days this year on this one. I might spend a little bit more time just to finish this diagonal, but I am sort of, I wouldn't say retiring, but pausing, putting a bit of pause on my more wintry projects, so I might just put this one aside for a little bit. But yeah, after finishing this diagonal. But I am, as I said, as I always say, I am super happy about how this is turning out. It is super pretty, really nice. And the next project that I want to talk a little bit about, or show you the progress, is Pandemic from Long Dog Samplers. It is so fun. It's also one of my, well, pretty much all of my projects are favorites, but this is, I really do love this chart. I love this pattern. I love doing it monocolor, just the one color, and it is just such a treat to be working on this. So I am making good progress, I think. I have a little bit. I'm gonna, next time I pick this up, I'm gonna spend some time grading all the way down. But yeah, it's getting there, slowly but surely. Yeah, look at that. It is so nice. I really enjoy it. I am stitching this on an 18 count Ada, and I've spent about 4 to 5 days on this year, and I am and I mean, this is the one that I always like to pick up, so you're gonna see more of this, and maybe I don't think I'll finish it this year, but getting there for sure. Yeah, so I think I've mentioned this before also. I am in no rush on finishing this, but I do have other long dog samplers that I will start up once this one is done, and I think I have my thread for that also. I'm not I haven't decided. I actually took another look at the floss that I have, and yeah, we'll see. But for now, this is the one that I'm working on with the silk floss from Mrs. Sada's on Etsy, which is a super nice thread to be working with. So yeah, on to the next one. Okay, so this is a project that I hope I will be able to finish this year. It might not happen, but yeah, we'll see. This is a wreath of all seasons from Dimensions Go collection. I have finished the winter, or what I interpret as the winter part of the wreath. I don't know if you can see the flowers up there. Yeah. So I am stitching this by seasons, I'm hoping, and I decided to just do the lettering and the writing as according to the charts. I think that some people have changed it a bit, or are just not doing all of the writing or none of the writing even. But yeah, I actually really love the color. This is, I think, pale green or like a sage green. It is super, super pretty. So yeah, I just decided to, yeah, I'm gonna do the lettering and all that. And done with the winter bit, I'm gonna start with the spring bit, which comes up here. And hopefully I can finish this March, April, May, and then start on the summer bit, which comes up here, and then going into fall, working my way down here. So that is what I'm hoping to do. But the winter part is done, and I spent about 10 days actually this year. Did I say it's stitched on I don't know if it shows up on camera, but it's ivory, 18 count Ada. And I mean, I just love the floss from Dimensions Go collection. It's super nice to work with, and I'm really happy how this is turning out. It is very, very nice, and their charts are also easy to read, and I think easy to handle. So super happy about this one. So this is a kit from Mareike. It is called Winter Evening, and I just started it last year. So I have not the winter December, I think. So I haven't been spending too much time on this. But again, Mareike, they also have really nice kits. I like their floss. They have, I think they are DMC floss, and also nice Ada. It is not too stiff. It's actually soft and very pleasant to work with, I think, for me anyways. It is not super full coverage up here in the sky. It's a bit see-through, but it gets more full coverage as you work your way down the chart. It is stitched on a 16 count Ada, and I spent about 2.5 days on this one this year. So as you can see, I made a little bit of progress. I think though, because we are moving now into like more springtime, I might actually put a pause on this one too, because there are some spring projects that I would like to pick up again that have been resting for a while. So this one I will probably not make that more progress for now, but we'll see what happens further along the line. But yeah, I really like the colors. There's some really nice blue colors here. Yeah, so this is a very nice kit too, but like I said, maybe putting a pause to it and picking up like my spring flowers instead for now. Oh, and this is really again one of my favorites. I love this one so much. Yeah, as you can see, I chose to do the background first, and I might be working a bit on the floor before completing the people here. There's another gentleman, a little lady peeking up here, and another gentleman. So yeah, and as you can see, because I work like one page at a time, so the back stitching I just done complete, so half her dress is not back stitched. But it's interesting, like when you see the difference, because yeah, the details just pop a little bit more once they're back stitched. And this is just such a fun project, because since you do get to work from the top to the bottom, I can work a little bit at a time. You get like all these people just appearing as you go. It is so much fun. I like this so much. Oh yeah, I haven't graded the whole one, but yeah, I have some ways to go yet, so no rush with the grading the final part. I spent about 5 days this year on this particular project, and I will definitely be picking this one up more. I mean, this is not a winter theme or a summer theme, it's just a theme. It's just a theme of itself, and it is so much fun. I'm not quite sure what thread this is, because this is a kit from this is an old kit from I bought it from AliExpress long time ago, and I'm not actually quite sure. It sort of reminds me of anchor thread a bit, and some of the floss and some of the colors do break quite easily, like the light pink colors. I think just it's a little bit more brittle, so it will sometimes break on you if you're not careful. But other than that, it is a nice floss, but I'm actually not quite sure. I don't think it's a blend, but I'm not sure if it's anchor either, so who knows. But it's not too bad to work with, and like I said, I am having so much fun with this project anyway, so I really don't mind it. So this is what I call the dancing party. I'm not quite sure the title. This is one of these artworks that I did do some research. I tried to do some research. I couldn't find the original title of this, and so I'm actually not quite sure. It did turn up a little bit as a triptych, so I think that there might be some other pieces or some other charts that goes with this, but I'm not quite sure, but I'm calling it the dancing party. Now this is another winter themed project. Holiday at Seaside, and I have completed like 1 or 2 more rows, I think. It is a beautiful project. I mean, look at these colors, the details. It is stunning. I think it is beautiful, really. Just a little bit of beading, and yeah, I am really pleased with this. I spent about 3.5 days on this. 3, maybe 4, somewhere in between. And this is a kit from Lady Stitch, so it comes with pre-gridded fabric. This is a 16 count Ida, and you are stitching with double thread, so it is, yeah, it's some sort of cotton. I wonder if it is DMC actually in the Lady Stitch kits. Hang on, let me check. It might be. Yeah, the threads are super nice, and they come on the cards like this. So there are some holes, so you can just cut your piece of strand and just fasten it here in the pre-punched holes. So that is actually super great. It's a little bit of fiddly to store, I think. The cards get stuck sort of in each other, but it's not a big problem at all. Yeah, so Holiday at Seaside, and this is also one that I will, I think, put a pause on for now, and we will just see what happens with this kit. Again, I mean, I can highly recommend this. This is a nice soft Ada, and the thread is nice, and the charts, the artwork, I mean, yeah, like I said, I just love this, the colors and how it is all coming together and how it looks stitched up. Yeah, it is a beautiful kit, and it is quite a big kit. And I think I did look it up. There are some very similar but smaller versions of this. So there's like, I think, so if you don't want, because it's kind of big, it's not super big, but it is kind of big. And so if you want like smaller versions, there are, but then it is, they have taken a motif from this, I think, and made a smaller kit from. So I think you can find that. I didn't, I mean, I didn't do much research, but I did look it up real quick because I was talking about it at some point. So yeah, I think you can find that. I'm not sure that they are under the brand Lettuce Stitch. It might be Lucas or something though, but yeah, I might look into that a little bit more for you if you want me to. Anyways, on to the next one, which was a new start last year. And I mean, I say it was a new start last year. Many of these that I have been showing you, like the Wreath of All Seasons, Winter Evening, Holiday at Seaside, they were all new starts from last year. What I mean to say is that this is, I think, the one that I have spent the least amount of time on, and this is the squirrels from Riolis. And now I'm kind of insecure. Yeah, I think it's this way up. Sorry. Yeah, this is the eye of one of the squirrels and the ear right here. And when it comes to the Riolis kits, I do enjoy them because you can get some like this one, like smaller ones. They do stitch up kind of fast, and it is just about getting used to this wool acrylic thread. And I mentioned it before because I mean, I did the hedgehogs with the same type of thread from Riolis. It is a little bit of getting used to, but once you get into it, it is not too bad. And like I said, they do stitch up pretty fast, and they have so many cute and adorable animals and stuff like that. So if you want like what one might call a snack, then yeah, Riolis have a lot of snack pieces that are small, easily to start, and easy and quick to finish, and a lot of fun. Not too complicated. There is just some tent stitches. I think there are single threaded cross stitch full crosses and also double threaded full crosses. When it comes to the tent stitches, I think there's only double threaded tent stitches, and then there's going to be some back stitching on this, but it's not too complicated, and I actually kind of like the effect that it makes when they have a different amount of threads, because it does give a little bit more structure and feeling for like the leaves here. I don't know if you can see that. Also with the coverage, it does give a little bit more sheer impression, because this is stitched, as you may see, with a single thread, and then the colors around here is double threaded full crosses. So yeah, I kind of like that effect actually, and they use it a lot in the Riolis kits. Squirrels from Riolis. It's stitched on 14 count Aida with this wool acrylic thread. Yeah, so far so good, and I spent 2 days only this year on it. So as you can see, it does stitch up really fast, so you can have a lot of fun with it. Now here comes a project that has had a little bit of a built up, I would say, anxiety about it, and it shouldn't have been, I think, because it's not, I don't know, it's not that bad, but it is interesting to see. So here we go. So this is Lady Alexandra from Mirabilia, and this is how far I've gotten. This is a new start for this year, and yeah, I don't know what to say. I mean, so far so good, I guess. It's not as, I mean, so far it's just cross stitching. I think I'm gonna get a little more anxiety when it comes to the beading, maybe. Also just choosing the fabric. I did choose one that sort of matched the original one for this time, because this is my first. The paper chart is not easy to work with, but I did take photos of it on my tablet, and I imported it into, like, it's not GoodNotes, it's something else. It's Samsung version of a note thingy, so you can mark off your stitches on that one. It works pretty much the same as GoodNotes app if you have that one. And yeah, I mean, I'm not really into it yet. I think I need to just spend a little bit more time on it. But so far so good. I spent about 2 days actually stitching on it, with a little bit, and then of course with it, because I did start it, I think, without gridding, but then no, I felt that like I needed it, because it's sometimes when you work with a paper chart, for me, I don't know, it's like I need to look a little bit more closely on the paper chart, which means that I don't want to be wondering where I am on the fabric. So I really admire you stitchers out there who can just stitch without gridding. But yeah, I did end up gridding, but I just did dots, which is a little bit faster, and also to just give me a sense of how much I wanted to have out in the marginals, how much fabric I wanted. Because first I was thinking maybe I would just cut this piece down a little bit and save me some fabric for a smaller project. But then once you realize, like, as you come down and you know that the skirt is going to be out here, you do want, because this is how wide the grid is, and I think that her dress comes down and the skirt is like swooping out all the way out to here. So yeah, then I thought, yeah, no, I better save a little bit more on the sides just in case I want to do something with it, as in framing, or maybe just mounting it on a board or something. But yeah, so far so good. So this is my first Mirabilia. I have been a little bit anxious starting it with all the specialty threads and the beads and all that. Yeah, I'm really glad I'm starting it. It is not, so far, as I said, this is just cross stitching, so far it's just like any other project. But we'll see as we advance down, and leaving room for the beads, because I'm gonna of course do the beading last of all, because I do want to use the frame. I don't like stitching with the fabric in hand. I have tried it a bit, but I just can't get it to work in a way that I like. So the beading comes last, of course. I have actually a few other charts, so I hope that this will come together well and that I will enjoy it, so that I also feel motivated to stitch the other shirts that I already have. But anyway, Mirabilia Lady Alexandra. Oh, and I'm stitching this on a 32 count because that is what they recommend. So it's 2/2. And just quick also, I know that some people I have seen do stitch the face 1/1 because they don't like, I think it's because it gets a little bit chunky sometimes when you stitch 2/2. I think that I am going to stick with the chart and stitch it 2/2, and if I don't like it, I don't like it. We'll see. I don't think I'll have a problem with it though. I'm just going to be happy to to complete it after all. So yeah, we'll see. Just slowly, no rush, trying to enjoy the process. Enough, and on to the next one. Now for my long companion into the future is the Amy Stewart A Stitch in Time. I did not care to remove it from its Q-snap. As you can see, I have some hair clips on there, I have some small clips on here, I have a couple of needle minders, and yeah, this is again, I'm shifting from cross country into parking diagonal 20 stitches wide diagonal, which I really like. And this one though, I am cutting off I am going to do the diagonal just to about here or here. I think I'm going to do a little bit of zigzag thingy going here, so you don't just get that straight line cutting off. But if you know about this, a stitch in time or a stitch in shelf, then you know that there are shelves in here. So the first shelf, which I guess is spring, and then summer, and then fall, and then winter, I think the cutoff is somewhere around here. So that is, I think I'm gonna want to stitch this one shelf at a time. And then also for practical reason, it does really fit well into the frame here. I haven't spent that many days on it, but two, I think, if I remember correctly, two kind of long days. And I am stitching this on a 25 count 1/1. And again, this is really one project that I'm really taking my time with, and I'm savoring, I'm enjoying every minute of it. So I see I skipped a stitch. Okay, sorry. Yeah, I will take care of that one. Anyways, so this one, I don't have any problem with taking it slow. Because it's a super size, it's a max color, it's gonna take me quite some time to finish this, and I'm totally okay with that. The interesting part though is that I have some other Heaven and Earth designs, like full coverage 1/1, kind of big ones, and with those I'm sort of debating a bit how to proceed, because I do want to see some progress on those. This one is my life companion. It's gonna be with me for many years, and yeah, even though I just get to stitch like one stitch a year, that's fine. But with the other projects, I do actually want to make a little bit more progress, so we'll see how I advance with those. Maybe also it's because that those are sort of, the art pieces are such as there's a lot of background, like the fitting or Sister Moon or even meeting at the church stairs. So there's a lot of background, so it takes a while, because I always start in the upper left corner. I always work from left and then down. So maybe that's why when all you see is background, maybe that's why you want to make progress faster on those. But it also can be maybe a bit tedious. So we'll see. This one stuff is happening all the time. There are different motives, different scenes, so to say, as you move along. So, and also I knew when going into it that I wasn't gonna rush it. I was just gonna have so much fun doing it anyways. Like I said, I spent about 2 kind of longish days on this, and I'm planned to spend more because this is actually the one that I'm not gonna follow the seasons, as you might understand. I'm gonna do the whole first shelf, the spring section first, and I'm gonna stitch on it all year round. Whenever I want to, I'm gonna pick it up and just do whatever it does. And I think with this project, it's gonna be the same for whatever season. I've seen when I look at the other stitches on out there who stitch on this, and some of them are, I think, monogamous stitchers. So all they do is stitch on this. I mean, the progress that they make is crazy, and it's really inspiring. But for me, I'm just gonna take it slow and, again, not really bother about the seasons and just enjoy every stitch, and then we'll see where we end up with this one, if it ever kind of gets finished or not. Since we are talking about heaven and earth full coverage, I might as well show you the other Amy Stewart one that I have, which is called Sister Moon, and this is one with a lot of background. I have not stitched this on camera because it's mainly black. It is starting to, as you can see, move into a little bit more colors, so it is getting a bit more lightened up with brown, green, and gray. But yeah, so this is not a super big one. I spent about 3.5 days on this. It is also stitched on 25 count, 1/1. And when, I mean, since this is pretty much just like one color, it does stitch up pretty fast, this background. But it's still just background, and it's gonna be for a little bit more, even though you're gonna see some more brighter colors coming up here. And I sort of got it on there somehow, so I didn't want to take it out. But I think this might also be one that I just stitch. It's not super big, it's just out to here, I think. Yeah, and we'll see if I cut the diagonal off and just do it one part at a time, like one section at a time, or if I just gonna follow the diagonal all the way down, all across. I've also started experimenting a bit more about having the thread on the needle on more than one thread, not these though, but the threads in my diagonal. So when you switch, if you want to switch fast, you can do that. And so I made this thing, which is just something that I stitched up really fast, because for some reason, with parking, with the needle on the thread, with the needle minders, it didn't work for me. I tried that, and everything just got tangled. It was complicated, and since the needles stick when you try to, yeah, it was a whole thing. it was a whole thing. So I abandoned that. But then I sort of started thinking, and then I stuck the needles in the fabric, which works actually for even weave, because you can't really see the punch marks from the needle. But on Ada, for instance, especially like on, for instance, Wreath of All Seasons, which is not like a full coverage, there are quite large sections where there's just fabric, right? Then you're gonna see the holes from the needle. So that's why I made this little weird thingy, and actually this works pretty fantastic for me. First of all, I can separate the threads if I want to. So if I want to stick one needle here, and you know, you get separation. It's also easy to move. This is just a piece of felt with the cut-off threads in here. So just what do you call it? You call it something. Anyways, it's nothing fancy in here. It's just old thread cut up pieces. Yeah. So yeah, I actually thought that worked for some reason better than just having the needle minders, and then because when you are pulling one thread and maybe the other thread wants to come with, you can just sort of slightly pull it. I can't show you good now, but whereas with the magnets it would be complicated, because you know, suddenly when you were trying to tease the thread out from the other threads, another magnet would sort of snag your needle that you were, yeah, it was a whole thing. So I did this, and yeah, and I wanted it long just so I can sort of line up the needles better. And yeah, anyways, so this works for me, and I am experimenting a bit with it, which is why for now I only have the one thread and the one needle. So I'm trying my way with this, and so far so good. Anyways, enough about that. Sister Moon, artwork by Amy Stewart. The chart is from Heaven and Earth Design. Yeah, 25 count 1/1. And I think I actually might, just like with a stitch in time, keep this on the frame. I don't know if you can see, but this is, I combined two frames. So I have a small frame, and then I have the bigger frame, and I just, you know, switched up the pieces, because this format is actually quite nice to work with. It is, it weighs next to nothing. It's easy to hold. So for this one, since this is not such a big project, I might just stick with like the smaller kind of frame, just because it's easier to handle. And yeah, I feel that I can keep this on the frame also as we go, depending on how much I want to pick this one up, because this, I think I can make progress if I stick to it fairly quickly. I hope. We'll see. Another more Christmas feeling kind of thing. Here you see the back. It is horrible. There's so much traveling. Oh, yeah, and here you have the front. And as you can see, this is the beginning of the face. I'm stitching it as one page at a time. It is stitched on 16 count Ada, and I actually spent like a week on this one this year, because I knew that I probably gonna put a little bit of pause in this, because this gives me severe Christmas vibes, which I totally love. But going into Christmas and summer, I might just choose not to work on this, and then choose like the other ones that I have that are more spring and summer related. And I have also some new projects that I'm gonna start. So yeah, this might be taking a little bit of a break, which is why I actually finished all the threads. It is called Three Angels, and the artist's name is Yvonne Gilbert. And as I said, I spent about a week on this, and it is so cute. You have this chart on Heaven and Earth Design. I kitted this up with threads from some weird cheap stuff and kits that I'm not 100% sure where. Yeah, anyways, recycled thread it is, so I'm not sure what it is. And I think the color matching was pretty spot on, but some of these colors I think might be a little bit off in the background, so don't mind the background so much. this though I think is because I think these are pretty okay. I think the purple ones though are, yeah, maybe a little bit off, but and also the thread is sort of interesting to work with. It is not super smooth. It's a bit like snaggy. It snags a bit because it's textured in a way that is yeah, it's still smooth. Like when you pull the DMC thread, it just, or the silk thread from Mrs. Sada's. But it's still, I mean, it's still enjoyable, mainly because the artwork is so cute and special and really, really nice. I really, really like Ivan Gilbert's art. So yeah. But yeah, I thought because again, inspiration from other floss tubers by, you know, just getting rid of those questionable kits, and or maybe kits that are just, you know, not good, or kits that you know that you're never gonna stitch because you bought them like 15 years ago and you really don't like them anymore. And instead of just having them lying around or throwing them away, just make sure you recycle the thread. So this is why this project is happening, because I had on the thread, I had the colors to match, and yeah, again, maybe not 100% match, but I think it's good enough. I think it looks pretty decent actually. But taking a little bit of a break, and maybe because, as I was saying in the beginning, I am thinking about what I'm going to do this summer, and I'm definitely this year gonna do a mid-year whip parade, and I might also do like the Christmas in July kind of thing. So this might pop up in the middle of the summer. We'll see about that. Definitely a mid-year whip parade, maybe Christmas in July. Yeah, I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna have to think about that one though. So let's continue with. Oh yeah, just one more project. And here is the final project that I've been stitching on this year. It is called Barn Dance, and it's from Carolyn Manning Designs. It is really nice, really a lot of fun. It stitches up so fast. These are also recycled threads, I would say. Well, recycled, yeah, kind of, I think, because this is a type of CXC that I have, as far as I know, not worked with before, which is why the colors are maybe slightly off, but I really don't mind. And these are nicer than in the Three Angels ones, because these comes from other kits. So this is a CXC that I'm more familiar with. This is a CXC thread that I usually work with. I think it might be the one with one label, because the one that I work with, or that I prefer to work with, has two labels, and I think it's pretty decent to work with. This is okay. Again, the color matching, because these are actually two green colors. This is one green color and this is one green color. You can't really, I think on camera you can't really pick it up, right? You sort of can in real life. When I'm looking at it, I can see that one is a little bit darker and one is lighter. But I think if I had the colors in like DMC, proper DMC or Anchor, then the difference between these two greens would be greater. It would show up much more easily. But again, I don't mind. I mean, if you look at up here, it's the same scenario here. And again, I don't mind how this is turning out. Yeah, so for me, it works. But just know that if you have proper proper DMC, the colors are gonna be slightly different than what I have. But as I said, I mean that with these type of patterns, it is so relaxing, and you're just having fun and stitching away. No need to count, and probably no need to grid. I just grid anyways. But yeah, I can. If you haven't tried Carolyn Manning, please do, because it is such a relaxing thing. So if you have, for instance, stitch on the three angels, there's a lot of confetti, not in the background but in the girls, the little angels. There's a lot of confetti, and as you could see on the as you can see on the back of the project, there were a lot of threads there. Now this super relaxing. So just switching in between something like this and something like really confetti heavy, I find works really well for me to just recharge and keep that stitch bug alive, alive and well. So yeah. Did I say? Yeah, 16 count Ada, 2 days for this section here. So, and it's, I mean, the colors are happy, and the thing with these types of designs, you can also switch out, and she has this pattern also in so many different color combinations. So I'm sure you can find something that is pleasing to you. And that is it for my stitching progress. This is what I've been working on January and February. Now, as I said, for plans, I'm probably not going to do anything special this year for May. So Mania, last year I went monogamous for a month, which was, yeah, it was fun to go back, but I'm probably just going to keep stitching in the way that I find that I love to stitch, which is keeping the rotation going. I am I did say, since I was a monogamous stitcher from the start, I did start then increasing up to 10, and then for a while there I thought that 10 was enough. And then you start more projects, and then I sort of thought that, well, 20 might be a good number to stop at. And as it turns out, no, it's not. Now the ones that I have shown you now is only there are only the projects that I've been stitching on this year. I have more whips going, so this is why I thought it is time for me to do a mid-year whip also, because as I put pause on some projects, I bring some of the projects that I've been pausing a little bit and bring them back, and back and forth, and again. So maybe it's time to do a mid-year whip parade so I can show you all of my projects. And I am getting closer to 30 rather than 20. For some of you that is a lot, and for some of you that is not a lot. And especially if you're out on Flosstube, some people have crazy numbers when it comes to whips, and I totally respect that. Even though my numbers are going up, I still want to keep some control. So we'll see how far how far I get. But okay, so I am going to show you, if for those of you who want, you can just stop the video here, of course, but I'm going to show you a few of the ones that I would like to start this year. Moving into spring, I did, these are some samples, or cold samples, that I've been eyeing for quite a while. And this is the spring sampler from Merike. Now I actually have all four, because once I decided to start it, I thought, yeah, I might as well get all four of them. So I am going to start this one fairly soon. It's a spring sampler. It is super cute. I really like this. And look at the bunnies down here. Yeah. And then I'm going to start the summer sampler and the fall sampler and the winter sampler. So there's these 4 are we adding on to my total whip list. And this is a very interesting kit because yeah, it will be interesting to see how this will work out, because there's 2 fabrics. I don't know if you can see that, but there's one white and there's the cream or ivory one for these. So I think that these are stitched up separately and then sewn onto the white fabric, the white Aida, where the main floral element is stitched. So yeah, I haven't opened it yet, so we'll see how this, yeah, this is gonna be a lot of fun, I think. And yeah, it's DMC thread, Aida 16, so I got 30 times 32 cents. Yeah, so this is a new start, so you will see this fairly soon popping up in my Stitch With Me's. Now, this one I also talked about in sort of a mini haul or whatever, and this is a sweet pea. It is also, this is also from Marika, and the sweet pea, that is just special to me because of my grandmother. It was her favorite flower, and she's been passed away for several years, but whenever I see or hear about sweet pea flowers, then I always think of her. So finding this kit was really, really nice. And as you can see, DMC thread, Aida 16 count. So my gosh, yeah, it is super cute. It's a very sweet, indeed, sweet pea, sweet flower. And yeah, I will be starting this one kind of soon, maybe not immediately, but very, very soon. So you will see this one also popping up in my Stitch With Me's. And then at least I know I want to start this one too. Again, Marika. I just went crazy for Marika, but I've seen this also from many Flosstubers. It is called Cafe in Verona, and it is a really, really nice scene. Sixteen count DMC thread. Yeah. So, and this one I might not be in a hurry to start, but it will definitely show up at least maybe in the beginning of the summer. I don't know, I might actually have the time to do another Flosstube before I start this, but this is, it's lying there in my ready to go pile. I have the other ones in boxes and drawers, but then I have a little ready to go pile, and it's in there, and it's actually right beside my desk, so I do get to look at these every day and just plan for it. But this one first, and I'm gonna start that one, and this one is coming along, and maybe I also have the urge to start a sampler too, but I might not. Yeah, but these I'm gonna start. So look out for new starts, and nothing probably special for me, but definitely a mid-year we parade, and maybe I am also gonna do the Christmas in July just for fun, just to try it out, because it would be fun to make a little bit more progress on my Christmas theme things. And yeah, and that will be all for today. Thank you so much for watching and following me on my stitching adventures. I hope you have a really nice day, and I also hope to see you in my next video. Take care. Bye.